Hey, welcome back to the channel. See what I did there? It'll make sense here in a minute. So anyway, I am ready to start another project that I have been putting off, I guess, for the last 3 years. My Coyote Swap 83 Thunderbird Turbocoupe. Ready to jump into that again. If you go back through my channel, I'll try to put a link down below to part 1, which is like 3 years old now. And some of my plans have changed since I've made that video. So I'm gonna kind of recap what's going on here and show progress I've made, progress coming up, and what I got going on here. So let's take a look. All right, kids, who's ready for some fox body stuff? Raise your hand. I am. I haven't had anything fast in a long time, and I'm going crazy here. The trucks are cool. There's Gilligan sitting outside soaking up some sun rays. Got a little BB sitting there waiting for her turn to get in the garage here, which will be soon. But I am ready for some go fast stuff. It has been way too long. I am jonesing. I need to bang some gears. So here is what we have going on. So this is what's going on. Yeah, if you watch my part 1 video, you will notice that I had a 2013 F-150 Coyote motor that I had bought. Well, my plan was, since I got the motor so cheap, it had 147,000 miles on it, that I wanted to rebuild it. I wanted to learn the Coyote stuff. I've never done one yet. So I had started acquiring parts to do a full build on the motor, pistons, rods, doing up the heads, everything. But when I sat down and crunched the numbers, I mean, it was going to be like $4,000 minimum just to get the parts that I needed to build this the way I wanted. So I had to take a long, hard look at my plan, be a little more realistic. Here it is, almost April. It's the end of March 2021. And, you know, summer's coming up. Tracks are starting to open. I am jonesing. I want to get out and do some stuff. So I made the decision to not rebuild the motor that I had and decided to see if I could find another lower mileage motor that I could just drop in the car as is with the bolt-on stuff that I got and get the car on the road faster and save me a crap ton of money in the process. So just on a whim, I did a quick search, and within an hour and a half of me in a salvage yard, I found this 2014 F-150, still Gen 1, 5.0 with 60,000 miles on it. It is super clean. This salvage yard was the most organized and actually the most polite people I've ever met at a salvage yard. But the way they pull these motors and pallet them up is just incredible. There's not a single cut wire. Everything is capped off. Everything is sealed. Motor is virtually spotless, really. So for a little more money, I ended up buying this motor and selling off my 2013 motor. And I think I'm way ahead of the game here. I'm not going to have to crack an oil pan on this thing. And I can just jump right in to start modding this thing, cleaning it up, and get it ready for the car. So let me show you some of the things I got that are going to go on this motor here. So here is the table of goodies so far. Since this is a Gen 1 motor, I'm going to do, and it is a truck motor, I'm not going to be changing cams in it. I'm going to leave the truck cams in it, which I don't think is going to be too big of a deal. My Thunderbird is kind of on the light side, so I think it'll be fine. But what I did get is a 2018, the Gen 3, or no, is it Gen 2? No, that's Gen 3. Mustang intake. So this is supposed to be worth quite a bit of horsepower up top to upgrade to this intake manifold. So I'm going to throw that intake on. I have a 170-degree thermostat I'm going to throw in there. Be using these BBK Fox Body Coyote swap headers. Those will be put in use. I have some parts here from Power by the Hour I'm going to keep the Fox body radiator, and I'm not going to use the expansion tank on this setup. So I have their little degas delete kit, they call it. So it's going to replace some of the water neck fittings, the fitting for the eliminating the oil cooler, the little bleeder kit they have for the water neck. I got a set of motor mounts that are virtually brand new. We got some ARP hardware for the flywheel, some fuel line fittings, some Stage 8 header bolts, and then this is the popular Corvette C5 regulated fuel filter. And I'm going to end up reusing the existing Walbro 255 fuel pump that's on the Tbird. So that's what I have so far. Plus, I have the QuickTime bell housing down here. Man, I can see it underneath the table here. There is my G-Force T5 that was previously in the Thunderbird behind my supercharged Explorer motor. That trans works like butter. Really hoping it's going to be pretty much at its limit with the Coyote. It's rated for like 500 foot-pounds of torque with the stock case. So I'm hoping if I'm easy with it, I'm not planning on doing a whole lot of stupid racing with this car. I really just need a nice, fun daily driver that I can enjoy every day. So I'm not looking to kill this thing. So I'm hoping that G-Force will work really good with this combination. So that's what I got here so far. So first steps today, I've been kind of cleaning on the motor, brushing it, getting all the oxidation off of it. It just, I can't stand that. As much as I clean and I rub on it, the wire wheels and the wire brushes, the corrosion on the aluminum to me looks like crap. So I think I'm gonna knock the motor down, take off all the plastic stuff, get the wire harness off of it, pull a few of the accessories off, and I'm going to clean up the rest of the long block, and I'm gonna paint it. And I'm gonna do something a little different with it. I think it'll look kind of cool in the car. If you have not seen part 1 of the video yet, this is the car that it's going in. So we got a red and black theme going on, and I think I'm gonna kind of tie that into this, but I'm also gonna mix in something else I think is gonna look really cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started on knocking this down. I did run into a little issue. Valve cover bolts, the ones on the bottom here, collect a bunch of crap in there, and then they rust. And I got 2 of them here. The heads are just basically stripped off, so I'm gonna have to fight to get those damn things out. But hopefully it won't be too big of a deal. So anyway, let's get started on some Fox body stuff. Yay. All right. Got the wire harness off of it. Coils off. Intake off. I know what it is about these motors, but every teardown I've seen on YouTube, they've all got some kind of nest built down inside of them. So I just got to vacuum all that stuff out of there, get it all cleaned up. But looking pretty good. Just got to get these couple valve cover bolts out so I can get the cam covers off. Get this all cleaned up, and then prep it for some self-etching primer. So far, here's all the coils off, coil covers, wire harness is down there, and I'm just taking the time. I took stuff like the tensioners, cleaned them all up with a nice soft wire wheel, just clear coated them to preserve the natural aluminum on those. Like all the rusty bolts for like the coils and everything, just hit them on the wire wheel and then coat them with some aluminum paint, just give them some, so they look a little better. Okay, so this is busted down about as far as I'm going to take it. Got everything cleaned up, intake taped off, got all the water neck, everything off of it. And so right here, this one and this one is where these Power by the Hour fittings are going to go. And that's going to delete the degas tank. Only thing I'm missing, I don't have a 14 millimeter Allen wrench to get the cooler off, so I'm gonna have to go pick one up here, but it's all super clean inside. Very nice. Oil looked really good that came out of this. I think somebody definitely took care of it. Valley cleaned up best I can. So I think we're good. I'm gonna start doing a little more masking and then get ready to put some primer on this. First little light coat, the self-etching primer on there. Hopefully that adheres to the bare aluminum good. I'm banking on it. I just got to mask off the oil pan and I'll paint the lower half of it real good. Busted out my favorite little redneck paint gun here. Mixed up some paint. And what do we end up with? How about a leadfoot gray coyote? Leadfoot seems appropriate, I think. Turned out pretty good, I think. But this thing's got all kinds of nooks and crannies, man, I'll tell you that. But, very happy. Very good. I think it's going to be a cool color. Add back the black cam covers, and I don't know, I may do something different at the top of the intake instead of the gray. But we're going to definitely incorporate some of the race red that the car has into this too. So, but I'm very happy. It turned out very well. Looks good. So one of the things that I didn't know about, I wish I would have sooner, was on the 2018 intake manifolds. There's a little interference with this bolt on the water neck. Two different ways to address it. One is you can swap on a 2015 and up water neck, because the bolt is it doesn't have this tall boss in it. It's very low, so it clears no problem. What I elected to do was I just went and got a much shallower bolt or screw compared to what was in there. And then I did a little bit of clearancing right here in the corner of the intake. So that should clear no problem now, and it'll bolt down flat. So I'm gonna try that right now. The last clip, the pictures that I just showed of the motor all painted up and everything, I took that on March 29th, and today is April 22nd, I think it is. And yeah, right after I filmed that last little bit there and took the pictures and everything, I came down with COVID and got pretty damn sick. Ended up in the hospital for 7 or 8 days, something like that anyway. And here 2 weeks later, I'm still dealing with these side effects and all the crap that goes along with that COVID stuff. Apparently I'm not as tough as I thought I was, as it kicked my ass for sure. Still dealing with getting my strength back, and that brain fog stuff is that's definitely a trip. So yeah, I'm finally back out in the garage. I was really hoping to have the car home by now, but I'll have to deal with that here in a little bit when I got the strength to deal with loading a car. But for now, I'm back to working on the Coyote, and we're gonna get this thing, get it wrapped up the best I can here. So I did get some more parts in while I've been sitting on the couch doing nothing. So anyway, let's take a look, see what it looks like right now. Okay, intake bolted right down. Just got just enough clearance there now. With a little bit I took off, and that new little shallow little button head there. So we're good. 2018 intake, unported. She's all bolted down. I know this one here, that port gets capped off, doesn't get used for anything. And at the back, this one gets capped off, and we have the lockout plates for the intake runners. So that's all good to go now and all back together. So I started bolting the motor back together here. I got this valve cover this is all together. One of the big problems I ran into, those stupid valve cover bolts, man. I only got half. There's, 28 total, so I got 14 good ones there. And then I got 14 garbage ones there. So far, the dealer wants $6 a piece for them stupid bolts. So I guess I'm going to have to eat that and get this other valve cover bolted down. Right now, it's just sitting on there, keeping it clean. But I got the Power by the Hour degas bottle elimination kit. So I added this fitting here, this fitting here. My heater hoses to the heater core will connect to these connections. And then on the water neck, I added their little bleeder valve so I can burp the system, get the air out of it. And then I don't have to use the that overflow tank, degas bottle, whatever you want to call it, which I think kind of clutters it up under the hood. So I can just run my stock Fox body Griffin radiator that the car has, and it should all work with this real nice. I did pick up a Gen 1 intake cover that I'm going to try to fit. I didn't realize they don't exactly bolt right down on the 18 intakes, but I'm going to see what I can do to make that fit because I really like the way those look. I think it'd be pretty cool. Plus I got a little idea to customize that to put a nice little touch for the Tbird on it. So, and I also got the alternator mounted up. This is just this is not the Boss one or nothing like that. It's just a regular alternator. And then I did the oil cooler eliminator, also with the little fitting from Power by the Hour. So I just got a regular oil filter screwed on there. And I did pick up a set of SN95 sway bar brackets. So it'll hopefully drop the sway bar down, and everything is supposedly going to clear the oil filter, but we shall see, I guess. And I put a 180 thermostat in the housing also. So couple small mods. It should work pretty good. So I do have the Team Z Coyote swap K-member here. That's what I'll be using in the car. And just to save money and time and to get this car going here, I'm not going to do coilovers and changing the brakes and doing all that stuff. The car was a perfectly good running, driving car. So I'm just going to reuse the control arm, factory control arms that are on the car currently that I already put all new bushings and ball joints and all that crap in. And the car sits on 95 Cobra coil springs. I'm going to reuse those, and then I bought these Anthony Jones Engineering. These will bolt up with the K-member, so I can use a stock coil spring with a stock control arm with that K-member. So that's the plan for that. So I also ordered up my clutch kit for the car. I'm just using a brand new, it's going to be a stock Mustang 11-inch flywheel. So I ordered up the center force dual friction clutch kit for it. That part number there. Kind of hard to call it a kit. They don't even give you throwout bearings anymore. You got to buy these separate. $50, but whatever. So got the dual friction. It's actually bolted together. So got that. I also got some brand new pressure plate bolts coming, factory forward ones that I'll be using with it too. So won't be too much longer here. I'll be able to hang the motor from the cherry picker and go ahead and bolt all of this clutch kit up, the flywheel, and then start indexing the bell housing and getting that all set too. So man, we're getting closer. My little pile of parts slowly coming together here, so pretty happy with that. So the last thing I think I'm gonna mess with in this video is test fitting the Gen 1 engine cover on there. Just had to do a little bit of grinding to cut off this little bracket that was back here, so that cleared, and then you had to clearance that. I'm gonna have to do something with the little those little studs that would snap into the intake. They don't line up right with the one on the 18 intake, so I'm gonna do something different there, so it'll drop down a little farther. But I think it's gonna look pretty cool. Get that all to fit on there. The 18 intake. I like it. So anyway, again, this is my first coyote swap. Not saying I know what I'm doing here at all. So any of you guys watching, done this before, see something I'm doing wrong or something I need to know, please reach out, say something, put a comment below. More help I get, the better with this. So that will conclude this one. Just keep it short, sweet, since how it took me a month to do this. So we'll catch you on the next one, and we'll definitely have some bigger surprises in the next video for sure. So thanks for watching, and thanks for commenting if you do. Later.